Okay, welcome to another cooking video with me. My name's Aaron. That's why this is called Cooking with Aaron. Tonight we're gonna do lasagna. It's my mom's recipe and with my own little extras. So where my mother would put a pound of hamburger and a pound of ground pork, I have a pound of hamburger and a half pound, of ground lamb. Gives it a little bit extra, I think. So we got the meat in the pan here, so that's gonna get started, and we're gonna get started on our sauce. So we're going to put chopped tomatoes and tomato paste and tomato sauce all in, and then we're going to season. And I don't know who designed this ridiculous container, but I hate it. And I really, it's good stuff, but I feel like I shouldn't have to use scissors to open this. Anyway. Put that away. So I'm just going to put the sauce on low. That's going to simmer for a long time. I'm going to want all of the flavors, everybody to get to know each other well. Before we put everyone into the lasagna pan towards the end. Oops. So those of you that have been fans of the show for a while, I apologize for it being so long since I did my last video. I've certainly spent plenty of time in some form of quarantine and or lockdown since my last video, but I had camera issues, which was why I had to take a break until I could get my camera issues figured out. Just break that up. So what we're doing with the meats is just browning them. Browning and some mixing. This saucepan is not entirely flat on the bottom. That's why it keeps rocking around, making all kinds of noise. Alright, so I have all my tomato products. We'll stir this a little better. Once we get everything in there. We're going to go ahead and season with some onion salt. Be pretty generous with that. The rest of my oregano here. That one's very low. We'll also put in some thyme. That's another oregano. Why did I get two of those out? And some parsley. So do make sure, give yourself plenty of time for this particular dish if you've never done it before, because you're going to want, as I said, the sauce to simmer for quite a while, and then once you actually have everything together in the lasagna pan, it's about, what is it, an hour? 45 minutes for the actual baking once everything's in the lasagna pan. So it's multiple steps. Once I get the hamburger or the meats all browned and into the sauce, that's going to simmer for at least an hour. I'd like to go longer. It is getting late in the evening though, so we'll see how patient I end up being. Alright. We're also going to add some garlic. Whoa! That's a live one right there. As I've said many times before, I don't think there is such a thing as too much garlic. So we're going to be generous. Oh, that one's gone. Don't eat that, Scout. He's gonna try it. Well, I think he likes it. You know, if I'd have been thinking ahead, I would have chopped all this up and had it ready for you. Admittedly, this is not the safest way to cut garlic up. And you can just do the mince, you know, just get a can of minced garlic from the store. I prefer fresh whenever possible. Okay, as you can see, meat is mostly browned, so we're going to strain off as much of that excess juice as we can, because I don't want it to thin my sauce. Okay, not bad. We'll just go ahead and put that straight into the sauce there. We're done with this guy. Oop. So the addition of the meat makes the tomato paste, as thick as it is, makes that easier to mix in if you were just trying to stir the paste with the sauce and the chopped onion, or chopped, not onions, tomatoes. It's a little more difficult, takes more time, so just save myself that headache, and the meats act as their own agitator. Okay, so that's that. We're gonna put a lid on that and let it simmer for a while. Same lid we just used. That'll do just fine. So you're gonna want to check on this every now and again. Give it a stir. We're only at just between 1 and low. Because I want slow getting to know each other in the pot there. So we'll let that simmer, and we'll check back here in a bit. All right, so we've been simmering here for about 2 hours. I've chopped up a little more garlic and some cilantro. I'm gonna throw that in there. Cilantro is optional, of course, because there are some strange people out there that don't like cilantro. I don't understand those people personally, but you know, to each their own. Again, this has been simmering just on real low heat and stirred every now and again. So now I'm just adding a little more garlic and the cilantro fresh to give it a little something extra. And cover that up again. Now we're gonna get going on the cheese. So first, ricotta. Again, optional. Not everybody likes ricotta. Everybody's got their own likes and dislikes, and you cater your recipe to that. Whatever you. This is just what I do. I'm also going to add some cottage cheese. And I am going to have extra here, which I am absolutely okay with. I would much rather have extra than not enough, obviously. I'm also going to add some feta crumble. I'm not going to put all of this in. But a good portion of it. Save some of that for later. And I've got some grated Parmesan, grated or Parmesan, doesn't matter. Put about half of that in there. And I'm going to season it with a little bit of thyme. Some parsley. Scout is helping. And the last bit of the oregano in this guy, which is done. And I'm also going to add this fresh cilantro that I had chopped up. Toss that in there. And then we're just going to mix. So if you have a spatula type tool like this, I find that it's good to use in a case like this, because you don't, with a spoon you get that whatever is on the spoon in the cup of the spoon is not going to mix, whereas this, something nice and flat, everything gets mixed up. Okay, so that is good to go. And we're just going to pop this in the fridge until we need it for the construction momentarily. Through the magic of editing, my boiling water, well, it's almost there anyway. So you didn't have to sit there and watch and wait with me. So we're going to boil our noodles. Put the whole box in. There likely will be extra again, but we're okay with that, and you'll see why. Just put that straight in the trash. Okay, so our sauce is looking good, smelling good as well. Now, while you've got some time, as you're waiting for your noodles to boil, make sure that you have your strainer in the sink ready to go, which I already do, because you don't want to have to dig it out from the cupboard when you're ready for it. You want it sitting there ready already. And now we do some more waiting. So the noodles will soften, obviously, on their own, but they do need a little bit of help, as they do, to get everybody all the way down in there. Easy. Yeah, they'll start to fall in there one by one. Hush. So be gentle, just because you don't want to break your noodles. But as they start to get soft, you can start to push them down all the way in. There we go. Getting there, getting there. Again, patience and gentle. There we go. Now quickly, while we're waiting for that, I did forget to add mozzarella, shredded mozzarella, to my cheese mixture, so I'm going to do that now. While I've got a second to kill. I would have done that before, obviously, when I was mixing it all up. And as with a couple of the other cheeses, we're going to leave some we'll go ahead and mix that in real good. Alright, let's have a look here. Okay, I'm getting there. Mostly soft and pliable. Alright, it's not like spaghetti where you can take a noodle out and throw it at the wall. See if it sticks. Scout, are you helping down there? Okay, I think that's good, so I'll turn that heat off. And strain it. All right. Okay, now at this point, in there, I'm going to preheat my oven to 350. Let that go in there. And we will start layering. Turn that heat off, don't need that anymore. Out of the way. And this is why I like to have extra, so I can be generous with layering. Oop. There we go. Get in there with your friends. Okay, mix this around. Make sure there's good coverage. course, the pan is starting to heat up and sizzle because I set it right down on a hot burner, which I wouldn't do normally, but I'm kind of confined with my camera set up here, so I just have to make do. And really, there's no reason not to just pile it on like that. And then move everybody around so you get a good mixture. Now, as it cooks, the noodles will expand a little more. And as they say, the cheese is binding. So it'll all stick together real nice. Ooh. Got a broken one there. So I think, yeah, I probably could have cooked the noodles just a little bit longer because they're getting a little fragile. That's okay. You do want to make sure that you get good coverage on the noodles because they will, if they're uncovered, they'll get crunchy in the oven. But if they're covered, then they'll stay nice and soft. Okay, now just cover with some of our feta crumble, some of our Parmesan, and a little more of the mozzarella. Now I have extra, as we said, and that's fine. I'd rather have extra than run out. I've actually, I used to do this recipe by measurement, so that I had exactly, but if you get it just a little off, then you're kind of in trouble. So, no more. So I just take a bread pan and just kind of lay these in there and just fill whatever's left over. Put all that in there. And I'll put some more of this cheese over here. Way extra. This is not the usual noodle brand that I use. The one that I normally use, I guess they put a couple extra in there, a couple extra noodles in there, so I have enough to put a second layer on this guy. But that's fine, not a problem. Just means I'm gonna have lots of leftovers, and that is okay by me. Alright, so the oven beeped at me, which means that it's ready to go. Alright, so heated to 350, everybody's layered on nicely. In we go. Put both of them in. And we'll set a timer for 30 minutes, and I'll take that the little bread pan guy out. That should be long enough because it's pretty thin. But 45 minutes for the large pan, and see how it looks when we pull it out. Can't wait. All right, so there's my my mini, which I pulled out 15 minutes ago. Go ahead and turn the oven off. Woo! Caution, it will be warm. Yeah, buddy. That's the good stuff right there. Now I realized a little too late that since I had put so much in the pan, I should have a sheet underneath in the oven. So some of the drippings that went over the side got a little burnt on the bottom of the oven, so I'm going to clean that tomorrow, and that's going to not be fun. But here's our finished product. I mean, how good is that? So now I just need a light salad and perhaps a red wine, and I'm good to go. So, as I said, this is my mom's recipe. Shout out, Mom. With my own little tweaks, the lamb and a different variety of cheeses. Experiment, right? Do your own thing. Try your own stuff. Don't be afraid to fail. Just don't burn the house down. If you got any recipes you want me to try, shoot them to me, and we'll keep, now that I've got my camera issues figured out, we'll keep doing this and keep having fun, and we'll see where this goes. Thanks for watching. I've been Aaron, and this is my lasagna. waiting for the jets to fly over.